Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Bloom Outdoors. So if you guys checked out the last video, or the last two, I guess you know I installed the new taillights and headlights, but specifically the last video where I installed the headlights, you can maybe see from a different perspective here today. Maybe, might look the same as last video. Anyways, what I found out, I don't know if I told you guys or not, for some reason the bulbs that go in the turn signal right there are not in there. So like if you see when I hit the key, you see the bulb in whatever this section is called lights up, but the bulb in here does not light up, and that's like that on either side. So apparently just the bulbs aren't in there. So I needed to put those in because when I hit the turn signal, it will flash quickly, like I think like hydro flash, maybe is what it's called. I'm not really sure, but it's when you hit the thing and it will blink fast. It's weird though, I checked it out. It actually does it in the cab on the dash. It'll blink fast for both sides, but on the outside of the truck, neither of the actual lights blink fast. So it's not a huge concern to me with it only being on the inside, but it just gets annoying listening to the noise go faster from in there. So I wanted to put the bulbs back in those holes. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with it, and that's why he didn't put them in when he sent them back to me. Also, I drove around a little bit last night, tried to test out the brights and everything. And if you guys remembered, I showed you the low beam was like right here. And when I turned on the high beam, they were like way up here. So I drove around last night and the high beams were pointed up into the tops of the trees, which I thought was just super weird. I've never had to adjust the high beams before, but I actually just figured out how to. Figured I'd kind of get into it, see if there was another way to get to the back of the headlight other than having to take the whole thing out. So I actually found you can get back and behind here just by removing some of the clips and screws to hold in the wheel well liner. You've got, this is a 5.5 millimeter for the screws holding it in. So you got 3 screws, 2 little clips in there. And then you got to use, I think it was a 4 millimeter. And if you can maybe see, there is a screw, or whatever it is you like to call it, shoved up in here. It'd be this guy right here. I believe it's a 4 millimeter fits on there. And so by turning that, you adjust the high beams up and down. So I can try and go ahead and show you guys. So here's the low beams, and then here's the high beams with it. The right one is super high up, and as you can see, the left one is lower. Before the left one was higher up, I already went ahead and adjusted it down some. It's a lot easier to adjust, in my opinion at least, than adjusting the low beams, because you just get that on there, you crank it like one full time around, and they've dropped that much. They were pointed to about right there before. Now they're right there. Because actually when I drove, there was the low beams here, high beams were up here, and there was a dark spot in between. So these things were pointed way up in the sky. I kind of want the high beams, the middle of them, to be right at the top of the low beam line. You can see where low beams are, and the high beam on the left. It's pretty close to that line that I wanted at. So that was actually super simple. I was glad I didn't have to take the whole front end apart to get to that. And then it looks like from being up under here, it should be where this connector is right there. Then we should just be able to take that off and get that amber bulb put in there. This would be for the high beam headlights, and then there's another one higher up top, right up there. That's for your low beam headlights. So it should just be this brown connector thing right there. And on the back of there should be where that amber bulb goes. That was super easy to twist off. And looking in here, you can see there is no bulb. I have no idea why, but there's not. So I'm going to grab the bulbs. I don't know if I told you guys, but when he sent these to me, there was 2 random bulbs wrapped up in bubble wrap. So I'm going to grab those. Thankfully I saved them. Grab one to start. So you can see the bulbs were not put in there for some reason. Might have to use 2 hands to do this. Okay, so they light up, as you guys can maybe see. It's just weird because it doesn't feel like they're in all the way, which is kind of weird. I think we should be good. Oh, I don't know what you guys could see there. Open the door. And what? How they don't work? I wonder, do they not work? Or is it just tinted so dark that you can't see them? Just worked a second ago. Looks like it's not even put in. Okay, it took me a second, but I got it figured out. It was just the metal part on the bulbs were bent and it wasn't getting shoved in the right way. Eventually, I got them bent into the right spots. Got the bulb shoved all the way in there. Now when we hit unlock, you can see it lights up. And it's not super bright or anything because the black is smoked over, as you can see from like over here maybe. But I did want the bulb in there, so now hopefully we don't have the hyper flash or fast turn signal or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I don't know, it looks pretty good. We got it on that side, this side still, so you can see the difference. The left side does not have anything. So gotta go ahead, put that one in, and then we also got to adjust those high beams down too. I got this side all put back together. We're on to this side now. And then I'm gonna turn this guy. You're gonna see that either go up or down. I believe that's going up. And it might be hard to see that on camera, but you can see it in person. And you can tell now how they're both pretty much the same height and not pointed way up in the air. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, that's pretty close. Because I wanted to get those high beams, the middle of them right on that top cutoff point, and it looks pretty close to that. I think for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. Take this out. I think for now, I'm just going to leave it with that, and then we'll get the amber bulb put in there. And then after we get the amber bulb put in, we should be good. That's really not that hard. I thought it was gonna be a lot more difficult because I thought I was gonna have to take the entire headlight out. But thankfully enough, I do not. All right guys, there we go. Both of the turn signal lights work now, as you can see, thankfully enough. I'm gonna go ahead, hit the blinker. Hopefully they don't blink fast, because they were before. In the hole. You can see low beams, high beams. Hopefully those are good enough now. There we go. Normal speed. Perfect. And you can see the reflection up on the door too, how it's flashing normal. Perfect. Sweet. Well now, I guess I just gotta drive it and make sure they don't flash while I'm driving too, because that was super annoying, flashing fast. I assumed it was because those bulbs weren't in there, but I wasn't 100% sure. I think we got the problem figured out. So yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna be it for the video. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, go ahead, drop it down in the comments below. But I think other than that, thanks for watching another video of Bloom Outdoors. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.